Have you ever thought about quitting porn? Of course you have. That's why I clicked on this video. You probably watched countless videos or heard stories of people who have ended up quitting porn, especially those who talk about NoFap and are in the NoFap community, right? And you see that they talk about the sense of freedom they feel from not having the desire or being addicted to watching pornography. Maybe you tried to quit in the past, but you find yourself relapsing over and over again. You try this and that. You try to quit by yourself, but it just hasn't worked out. In this video, I'll show you what you did wrong and how to fix it so that you can be in control of when you decide to watch porn, rather than having those cravings and the porn being in control of you. So tap in, let's get into it. Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel. What's good? What's goody? What going? Gang. My channel is all about providing you the daily dose of edutainment. My goal is to entertain you and to educate you on a variety of subjects, whether that be addiction-related stuff, comedy reaction videos, to comedy, social commentary on things that are going on in the world. My channel is just about providing you with entertaining content that makes you learn something, but also makes you laugh and be, just brightens up your day in one way or another. So definitely tap on that subscribe button, hit them folks and that like button. Whoa. I appreciate y'all. So I partnered with the members of the Truth of Addiction, the company itself, and wanted to bring to you content that will help you quit your addiction to porn and better understand why it is you become addicted, why you stay in it, and how to overcome it in its entirety. So I'm gonna cue the footage right now. Listen, be attentive, block out all your tabs real quick, and listen. Let's get into it.
Pornography is very similar to other addictions. It is not just a bad habit, but has compulsive components. Porn addicts often feel as if they have uncontrollable urges and cravings, which are only relinquished by giving in. The reason that cravings and urges appear so strong is because they come from a part of the brain called the limbic system. The limbic system is very powerful, and it is denser than other brain structures, and it evolved before rational thought. This explains why thoughts, urges, and cravings for pornography seem incredibly strong. And it also explains why fighting, suppressing, or avoiding cravings actually feeds them. And this is what 95% of people do. Cravings and urges originate in the primal and survival part of the brain. For some, porn has become such a regular part of their life, just like eating or drinking. If addiction is threatened, they experience a fight or flight response. Most people, when considering quitting their addictive behavior, experience a great deal of fear and panic. Fear of being without your drug, fear of not being able to cope with stress, or the fear of not being able to relieve tension. Those who successfully quit porn addiction stop trying so hard to overcome it and start to manage it in a less worried way. Porn addicts want to quit porn, but they have an extremely hard time dealing with the intense cravings and urges. If you want to know how to stop porn addiction, you need to know about the methods that are proven to diminish cravings and urges for it. You first need to change your perception about your cravings and your urges. You need to stop telling yourself that a craving is bad. You also need to stop thinking that you are a bad person if you have a craving or urge. We often acquire these perceptions because urges and cravings preceded the negative consequences, the guilt and the shame from being addicted to porn. A craving or urge in and of itself is not bad. Those who continually try to quit porn addiction often end up associating themselves with it. Because of this, porn addicts panic. They try to suppress or escape urges. You need to realize that the urge or craving is not you. You are not the message that your brain is sending. You are not the urge. It is important to change your overall perception of this urge. You are not bad for experiencing a craving. It is a faulty message that is sent from the brain, and it has been continually fed and strengthened. After gaining the correct understanding about these urges and cravings, you need to learn how to properly react to them. When you are experiencing cravings or urges to look at porn, step outside the urge's path and examine them as a curious scientist would. Observe without being judgmental about it. Thinking that an urge is bad is a judgment. You can learn how to quit porn addiction for good by just observing those urges. Observe what biological responses are going on in your body. Do your hands get sweaty? Is your heart rate increasing? Examine any bodily responses without getting caught up in them. By stepping out of the urge's path and examining the urge and its bodily responses, you are changing the relationship you have with that urge and craving. In the past, you probably panicked or tried to avoid or suppress that urge, but this time you are stepping back and separating yourself from it and doing nothing. You're only observing. You need to gain a third-person perspective about that urge. What does it really feel like to have an urge, and how does the body react to this intangible feeling? Urges and cravings for porn are really false messages. Your brain tells you that you need to give in, but you don't need to. You survive fine without it. Remember Pavlov's dog. Pavlov was a Russian physiologist who investigated autonomic reflexes in animals. During one experiment, he discovered the concept of classical conditioning. Pavlov rang the bell when he fed some dogs. What Pavlov discovered is that he could make the dog salivate at the sound of a bell after the repeated pairing of food with the bell. The bell was a cue for the dogs. Similarly, addicts acquire certain triggers. Some of these triggers include negative emotional states and visual stimuli. Your brain has started to treat your drug as a real need, but it isn't. It starts to make your mouth water, but it is not a real mate. It is a computer screen. Research shows that when addicts are actually experiencing these triggers, dopamine will spike in the brain, just as Pavlov's dog was conditioned to the bell and salivated by the sound of it. Pornography overstimulates the brain's reward system, and without porn, the brain screams, "Feed me." But your brain is playing a trick on you. You don't need to feed it. When you become aware of those urges and cravings for porn, you stand back out of the urge's path and observe it, and now you must ride it out. Like a wave that builds up, you must observe the urge as it gradually increases, hits crest, and then diminishes. You must observe it like a wave. Imagine it in your mind's eye, that it is a wave that is building up slowly and then hits the shore and diminishes. These waves crash on the shore because there is no solid foundation. They are only feelings and transitory moments that quickly pass. Addressing the desire, not the behavior, is most important.
I hope that video gave you a lot more insight. So shout out to the members of Truth of Addiction that were able to license me, provide me that video to share with y'all. I genuinely believe that watching one video here and there, it could help you. And if you can quit on your own, quit off of one video, some people can, then kudos to you. You're one of the few ones among us. But if you can't and you need more of a guided guided walkthrough to quit your addiction, and a program, step-by-step guide, like a baby step, like hand holding, rock the baby, like Russell Westbrook.
He's gonna do a little back down dribble. Gosh, he gets off his feet quickly, and there's the rock a baby, I think he calls it.
A handheld guide to go about managing your addiction and managing maybe it's not just porn that you're addicted to. Maybe it might be gambling, might be food, might be marijuana, might be cocaine, might be cigarette. Every addiction is rooted in it's rooted in the fact that it spikes dopamine and activates all those pleasure receptors in your brain, which make you continuously go back to it time and time again, right? So click the link in the description to go into more further detail about what you need to do, the program, the steps you need to take, what you need to be watching on a daily basis to nullify your addiction entirely. So if you're serious about managing this and you see that it's harming yourself, your relationship with your spouse, your friends, it's harming your finances, it's harming your career, your health, even whatever it is that you see the side effects of, if you're serious, you want to cut it off completely, click the link in the description, the Truth of Addiction program, and get started on your path to living a healthier and more fulfilling life that is not
several days later
hindered by porn or whatever else you're facing. So I appreciate you for walking with me, spending some time with your boy. God bless, much love, peace and joy. Namaste. And always remember, if it doesn't feed you, don't water it. If it doesn't nurture you or better you in any way, people, situations, the environment, substances, if they aren't nurturing you or bettering you, don't water those dead situations. Alright? So God bless, much love, peace and joy, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Deuces, fam.